That's right. Stop expecting you from other people. It's a pleasure to be before you today. My name is Anthony Milton, and you come into my channel to hear another message. It's a pleasure to be before you. I was thinking about what topic I was going to talk about, and like always, all my topics are, I will call my topic spontaneous. I didn't have a topic, and I went to Kroger's on Mall Boulevard and to shop, and I met my aunt cousin that works there. We said hello, and we was talking, and she was saying about dating and being involved, and she's very careful because a lot of men don't know what they want, and she don't want to invite anyone into her playground of her playground. And I thought about it. I said, oh, that's a topic I can give. You see something. So I said, well, I can speak on this topic and share it and make a few adjustments because it looked too dark. I said, I can make a topic out of the message. So I came up with the title, Playground Relationships. All of us, at one time or another, have gone to the playground, gone to a playground with our kids or with someone that we care about, and we share, good moments with them. We really enjoy the time that we spent with them. Like always, I have the hindsight to bring in, what you call it, I call it, bring in another, making a few adjustments here, bringing another mindset, because I can look at things and bring forth messages from the things that I see. So I thought about, I can bring a message from what we're talking about, playground relationships. We all, one time or another, have been involved in playground relationships, and I'm no different. So I'm going to use myself. During the course of my life, I can say that I've been involved in relationships that were like a playground. There are many playgrounds across the country. Some of them have certain things that you can play on, which I will get to in a minute. You have the seesaw, the chin-up ball, the spring ride, the trapeze ring, the swing set, the sandbox, and the merry-go-round, and the rope ladder, and the slide tube. You're going to find out in this message, those of you who are married, are you in a playground relationship where everything seems to go around and around and around, not going anywhere? You have the ups and downs. You don't know what to do. You're going sliding through a tunnel of the unknown, only to come out at the other end of the light into another cycle of trapeze pulling. Your mind is going in all directions. But I want you to think about what you're about to hear. I want you to know that you are not alone. Some of us will admit that we are experiencing a playground relationship. If you are dating, it comes with consequences. Remind me of this book I wrote. I'll show you the title if you can see it. It's called Sexual Dating Consequences. Sexual dating. We date with the intention of engaging in sex relationship somewhere down the line, and they produce consequences. Someone might get pregnant, get a venereal disease that can't be cured, and you can probably die from it. So dating and having sex out of marriage produce ungodly soul ties. You who sleep with someone tonight has slept with the other person who has slept with on and on and on. So you produce an ungodly soul tie. I wish I have came across a book like this in my course of sexual dating because it did produce a lot of consequences. Me hurting people's feelings, me doing my own thing, thinking I knew it all. So I had growing up, experienced a lot of playground relationships. Playground relationships. Have you allowed yourself to be a part of a playground relationship? What my cousin was telling me is that why should she let a man who do not have anything, which I said in my last message, like a hobosexual who don't have a place to stay. So you say the right thing, to move in with the woman, and in doing so, it's hard to get him out because he don't want to leave because he has no place to go. So that's a hobosexual relationship. He moves into your playground, your home, your setting, your environment where you create. You call it your own playground, your front door, your furniture, everything that you possess in your playground where it makes you happy, where you feel comfortable, where you're in control, where you take care of those things, when you are responsible when they break. You're responsible to keep them up. So why should you let a man move into your own playground? So I thought about it, I said, wow, that's interesting. Because I always have the ability to look at things when the time coming to bring forth some message from what I see. So I said, wow, we all at one time or another, or even right now, people are experiencing some type of playground relationships where they're stuck and don't know where to go. They're riding on the roller coaster. They're riding on the seesaw. We all can be disabled in our minds. And yes, they have playground for disabled people when they design it in that manner. So we can be disabled in our mind, and we need to jump off or refuse to continue in the playground situation that we are in. We need to leave the rules of his or her playground and begin to accept our own rules, that I'm not going to commit to any relationship that put me in a position as I'm on someone else's playground. We have the seesaw, one person on one end, other you go up and down, up and down, up and down. Is your relationship up and down, up and down? There's no balancing where you have come to an agreement where both people are understanding one another to make that relationship successful and pleasant as you go on? Are you constantly going, he's up, you down, he up, you down, you up, he down, and you're constantly battling back and forth, up, down, to see who can take control, who can be on top? And sometimes our emotion gets us in trouble where we want to be on top all the time, which is not good. We need to recognize when we are wrong, recognize our faults, recognize our mistakes, recognize what we want in a relationship. So when we go into a relationship, those who are not married and those who are married, recognize the seesaw moment in your thinking, in your mind, and begin to think that you need to begin to learn how to do some, you may have physical chin-ups, where the bar comes right here, chin-ups, pulling yourself up from the stagnant, the passivity, to put down, to not encouraging, pull yourself up of that self-imposed, what you call it, sinkhole or quicksand that you allow yourself to be in. Begin to reach for the truth pull-up bar, the pull-up bar of truth. Pull yourself up, strengthen yourself in your mind. Have a different mindset in the things you do. Have a different mindset as pertains to your playground. You can't go into someone else's playground and take over. You must control your own playground. Then they have this spring ride where you sit on it and you're back and forth, back and forth. Are you who are single in a rocky relationship where there's no stability, there's no, sooner or later you may be thrown off, you spring forward, you spring back, and if you go real fast and don't hold your balance, then you're thrown off. You throw yourself off. Are you in a relationship that needs to have some form of balance where if you bounce forward to look toward the answers for the truth, are you bouncing back and not knowing the truth, not recognizing the truth, don't want to hear anything about the truth, so you're constantly going forward and backward on your self-imposed spring ride? Or you recognizing that you must begin to grab hold of the trapeze of rings, the rings of truth, grab certain rings of truth to strengthen your mental mindset, your mental muscle, to pull you out, to help you in the relationship that you're in. Because you are only responsible for what you do in your playground, not me. I have no power to make you do anything. Only you are responsible for your playground. You are responsible for playground. You who are single, that is your playground. If you let somebody in, another man or a woman into your home, invite them into your playground, and they don't want to play by the rules of your playground, you need to begin to say, hey, what are the rules? You need to get a job. You need to support us, pay the bills, show a contributing factor in the household, 50-50 or 60-40. Do something. Don't just sit in my house, eat my food, and let he or he's go to work or she go to work, and you living off the fruit of their labor. Begin to recognize that you must accept the truth that you are in a relationship similar to a playground. Then there's the swing. You go to the swing, you put your kid on it, and you push them forward and back, forward and back. Are you pushing someone that really means something to you away from you? Are you treating that person like they was the one that hurt you? I remember I met a young lady who told me that men deserve to be hurt because of what another man did to her. I said, that's not fair, because we are responsible for who we date. If I did not hurt you, then why should I receive the consequences from another man or a woman? Why you want to hurt another man or vice versa? So when you push that person away and you let them in, are you letting them in your life for sex, money, or what you can get from them? And when you get it, you push them away. Are you, ladies or men who are in dating, are you in a swinging back and forth relationship where there's no stability? And if they push you hard enough, you can be thrown off that swings. The same way in a relationship. Are they pushing you hard enough mentally, emotionally, and physically to cause you to leave? If you're married and they call you to leave without thinking, you leave your home to him or you leave your home to her without thinking, they have pushed you out of your own playground. You need to begin to recognize that it is not good. It is not good to be drawn by your emotion. And then we have the sandbox. You can go in the sandbox and dig. Your imagination come up with this and that. You make little tunnels and dig a hole and different characters and different shapes, and you dig and you do all kinds of things. In life, our mind is a sandbox. If we are in a relationship, are you digging up past behavior that they have truly confessed as sin and not doing anymore? Are you looking and digging and trying to find something to justify your behavior in your own mental sandbox? Are you creating bringing back memories to hurt that person because you can't have your way in your own playbox, your own self-imposed playbox? Your own playbox is not be your playground. So you come into that relationship trying to make that relationship yours, trying to, you go into please. I can imagine someone going angry and they get in the sandbox and start pushing up all the dirt all in the air. Are you doing that? Are you experiencing a sandbox relationship? A sandbox relationship where you are constantly digging up the past, where you refuse to use your imagination to imagine that your relationship, if you're married, can be better than what it is right now. Those of you who are single, recognizing that. Are you in a relationship? Are you in a playground relationship that's not good for you? That you need to jump off that merry-go-round. That, oh, I love you. I care about you. You mean a lot to me, but their behaviors do not show that they care anything about you. That is not good. You need to be recognized that being on the merry-go-round, you can go on the merry-go-round and around and around and around. And then what happens? You get off, you start getting dizzy and you start staggering left and right, and you eventually fall down. Are you experiencing a relationship where it's constantly emotional stress is making you dizzy? You can't think, you can't see straight, you're not sure where you are. You need someone to come and pick you up, to talk to you, to sit you down, to give you a word of wisdom so you can snap out of the dizziness of, this cycle of, yeah, I love you, I care a great deal about you, but yet they behave you. Are you experiencing that? And you have that tunnel on the playground where you can slide in and come out the other end. Are you in a relationship? There's a tunnel. The only light you see is very out. Is that light is the truth, or is that light is it darkness? Even though it's light, is it lies or is it false lies? Because when you come out of the tunnel of what you can create, the tunnel of anger, frustration, love, sexual, whatever you can think of, whatever behavior, whatever thing you can think of, become your tunnel. And then you come out of it. How do you handle the slide, the moment, the ups and downs, the turns in the tunnel? How do you handle those difficult turns, those difficult, the unknown when you come out the other end? When you come out the other end, are you looking for the truth to say, I can do better, I deserve better, I'm not going to allow myself to be in a playground relationship. I'm in a playground relationship right now because I'm married, but I want to be better. I want the seesaw moments to stop. I know it's going to be normal, but let it stop. The spring ride, the spring set, the sandbox, the merry-go-round. I want my relationship. When I take my child, if you have children, if you pass by a playground and you see the different objects on the playground, recognize that that is you experiencing something in your life. So you ride down the street and see a playground and you see a swing set. Am I pushing back and forth against the truth, against my husband, against my wife? If I'm single, am I in a relationship that I ought not to be in? It's like a merry-go-round. I dated him and him and him and here, and everybody I date is the same old man, the same old behavior, the same old demeanor. Why I keep meeting the same old man? I'm riding on the same merry-go-round. We need to begin to pull ourselves up out of this self-imposed hole that we have dug for ourselves and begin to recognize that being in a playground relationship is not good. In a playground relationship is not good. Recognize that you can do better. You deserve better, the men and women. You deserve better. I cannot make you do anything, no power to control you. I just give you the information to allow you to think about what I'm saying. Think about it. Everything that we look upon has a message. Are you ready to receive the message that coming forth from what you see? That's why I call it, He Still Speaks, Now Listen. The God as we know him is always speaking to us. We just don't listen. We don't listen because we don't want to accept the truth. We don't listen because we don't want to change. We don't listen because we feel that what I'm doing is good for me. We don't listen because who are you to tell me what I to do? We don't listen because we say our beauty, our money, our status, our color degree. I know better than this person because they don't have what I have. No, it's not about all that. It's about recognizing if you want your relationship, those of you who are married, those of you who are engaged, those of you who are dating right now, if you want your relationship to be better, to do the right thing, begin to recognize those playground symptoms, those playground circumstances, those playground problems in the relationship that you're in. Children are experiencing playground relationships. Some of them are under 10, have decided to have their own boyfriend without their parents knowing, and 10 and above. Some of them get pregnant, get an abortion without their parents or with their parents' emotion and permission. Everything that we do, we suffer from the consequences. With pain, we know with pain we're going to get consequences. We're going to feel some kind of pain. But even though we feel pleasure and do a pleasure and to enjoy the pleasure of certain things, it's still going to give us pain. Like I said in one of my messages, and I like to say this, when I say when is tomorrow, you say tomorrow is Monday, but no, tomorrow is not Monday. Yes, physically it is Monday, but every time you blink your eye, take a deep breath, we're sitting right now in the present. When I start this message, it was the past. So I move from the past to the present. 1 minute from now, it's going to be the future. So everything that you and I do begin with a second. The things that you say out of your mouth, the things that you do with your body begin with a second. And it moves from past, present, and future. Past, present, and future. 10 o'clock will be our future. 9 o'clock will be our future. It's 8:21 now is our present. 8:22 will be our future. 8/21 will become our past. So think about it. Is tomorrow promised to us? We should ask, is the next second promised to us? Is the next second promised to us? How are you living your life? What are you doing? What is the number one thing in your life? What is your self-imposed God, if you want to say that? We need to begin to wake up from playing on someone else's playground. We need to wake up from being in someone else's sandbox, getting dirty, having our eyes being blinded with the emotional behavior type words of signs in our eyes that we can't see. We can see, but really don't see. Have our mind settle down from riding on the circle of this, what you call it, the spinning wheel. We need to get off of that wheel and say, we need the merry-go-round. I'm sorry. We need to get off of that merry-go-round of somebody else's that's confusing us. We are responsible to jump off and no, this ain't me. I'm not going to deal with this kind of relationship anymore. To those of you who are married and you recognize that you are in a playground relationship, even though you're married, recognize the issue. Take note. Write down the advantage and disadvantage. Recognize the problems and the solution and work on it. Work on it as it pertains to you. You can't change the other person. You can't make the other person. Recognize that you can change you, even if the other person do not change. And those of you who are single and want to change the status quo of living together or shacking up or being in a ball or relationship that's not good, begin to recognize that you can come from that self-imposed playground that you allow yourself to be on. If you allow a man, if you allow a woman to move into your apartment and you're having issues with them, that's a problem. Is it going to get better? Does sex solve the problem? No, it does not. Are you only feeling comfortable because you don't want to be alone, so you tolerate that behavior, hoping that they change? Then you are in a hoboish type sex relationship because you don't want to be alone. You don't want to be afraid. I'm sorry, be alone. You don't live by yourself. So begin to think about what I'm sharing with you. Sexual relationships produce consequences, as I said in my book. Sexual dating produce good and bad consequences, ungodly soul ties that you may be experiencing right now and don't know where it comes from. Everybody that you and I have slept with, we form an ungodly soul tie. And we can still be tied to that person, he or she, without realizing it. We need to begin to recognize that we have allowed ourselves to be put on that particular playground relationship back in the past. We need to break that hold, confess that fault, confess that sin, confess whatever, and ask for a new mindset to do what we need to do. We need to break, hello, Miss Williams. We need to break ourselves away from the playground mentality. Playground relationships. I read and I heard that a lot of black women don't want to get married. They want to stay single and shack up. A lot of black women complain about men. A lot of men complain about women. What are you looking for? Are you ready to, the first you got to understand, are you ready for a relationship? If you had problems in past relationships, recognize where you have done wrong. I did that to myself. Recognize where you was at fault. Recognize where you caused the problem. And then when you recognize that you caused the problem, then you can only begin to work on it. When we begin to blame the other person for our lack of or what we do not have, then we're going to continually fall and look for someone to fill in those voids as we wrote on our paper. Well, I want this kind of man and this kind of man, this kind of man. I want this kind of woman, this kind of woman. And you may get close to finding that woman and man, but they may not be the one for you. Especially if you're not ready for you. If you're not ready for a relationship, then how can you be ready for, if you not have dealt with self, how can you be ready for a relationship? How can you be ready for a relationship? Yes, the cover of the book may look very good. I'm talking about the physical appearance. But it's the table of contents, the words that the person speaks. Show me what's in their book. So we should not be drawn by, oh, she look good, she look attractive, she got a nice body, he got a nice body, he got a nice car, whatever we want to consider as nice, to determine, should we allow them into our playground? If you're living with your parents, if you're living by yourself, or wherever you may be living, that is your playground. You have set up rules. Have you violated your own rules and say you will not tolerate this person, he or she, into your playground? Because if you allow them into your playground, then guess what's going to happen? If they do not have the same thinking as you, and they're not coming together to make you one relationship, bring it together where you can grow to engagement into marriage, then they're in the wrong perspective, as my cousin told me. Why should she let a man into her playground, eating, drinking, sleeping, enjoying the fruits of her playground, and not contributing anything to it? That is wrong. We as Black men and women, and even other races, should begin to think, do I want my life to be better than what it is right now? I'm tired of waking up feeling the same old way. Am I waking up the next day hoping I meet he or she to fulfill my happiness? Then that's wrong. You should wake up saying, I can do better because I deserve better. We should wake up and say, I'm not going to tolerate this kind of man in my life. I'm not going to tolerate this kind of woman in my life. Yes, brother, you look handsome and good. Yes, baby, you got a nice body. You got all that. It is, but I'm not going to fall for the trap. I want to do the right thing. And sometimes as I speak for myself, a lot of times when I know I should have done the right thing, I didn't do the right thing. I like to throw myself in the message because people say, oh, you talking about me. You know, I'm not talking about you. If the shoe fits, wear. We must begin to look into the mirror of self and say, okay, am I sleeping, eating, having sex, doing the number 1 and 2, and that's all my life means to me? Then you may be comfortable with that, but there should be a difference in like, what do you want to do? How can you benefit others? How can you help someone else? When you help someone else, you reap the benefits of helping someone else. That thing about you get what come to you, or reaping and sowing, and bad thing of what goes around come around. Yes, that's true. But how many times you help people, just help them just to help them, not expecting nothing. You're going to get something back in the long run. So begin to take this playground message, playground relationship with your friends, girlfriends and boyfriends. Should there be a part of they not contributing to your playground of ideas, playground of understanding, playground of mentality, then you need to say, I need to get rid of them. Thank you, Jackson from Harriet. If you are in a relationship, like I mentioned myself, the times and past memories and relationships I've been in, the feelings I've hurt, my feelings got hurt only about me, thinking I was this, thinking I was that, eating and feeding and enjoying the fruits of my labor and other people's labor. And I look at it now, I wish that someone else had shared with me what I'm hearing today. We are living in a time right now where people are doing and saying everything, doing everything they can think of in their own playground. You may not have gone to a physical playground in many years. You may have passed by parks that have playground. You may have taken your children to the playground. But what playground I want you to think on is a playground in your mind. What toys, what equipment, mental behavior that you need to get rid of? Behavior. Are you drinking so much that you think you're in a merry-go-round, your head is spinning? Are you going up and down on the seesaw of life? Up one moment, down one moment. Up, he loves me. Oh, he don't love me. You down. You're going up and down on the seesaw. You just can't deal with it. Then you go decide to play, hey, baby, I love you. I care a great deal for you. Then you come on this sandbox and you start imagining things. Oh, he loves me. And then you start making little sand castles and imagining this, and you dig in the sand and you play in the sand and you have a good old time in that relationship in his mental or her mental sandbox of life, sandbox of thoughts. When someone throws sand in your eye, you do this and you brush it out. Don't allow a person to throw emotional, verbal saying in your eyes and try to blind you. Oh, I love you, baby. You say, wait a minute, you love me? I don't see that. I have not seen that in so many days or months. Don't allow that saying of lies and untruth to blind you. Begin to recognize that you are in control. Don't, from this day forward, don't say, this person made me do this. This person made me do that. You choose to do that. Because why? It appeals to your nature, appeals to your emotion, appeals to your feelings. You say, wow, I'm going to do that. I like that. I'm going to do that. It makes me feel good. How many of you who watch this are going to watch this in the future? Look back at the times where you decide to do something because it had good pleasure in it. When you step into doing the pleasure, it eventually turn around to be painful to you. And it's not good. So when my cousin told me about, telling me about, she don't want a man to come into her playground, she said, they don't come to my house. They don't come through my front door. We meet somewhere neutral. We go out to dinner. I can pay for my meal and they can pay for their meal. Because if I allow them to pay for their meal and I tell them, thank you for the time that you've given me, they're going to let, you're going to leave me like this? Because they expect something from the meal. When we go out with women, we should not, men should not, and women, we should not expect that, oh, we're going to go back to my place and have sex because whatever. No, sex does not solve the problem. Yeah, it makes us feel good. But if you think about it, did it made us feel good from the last man and the last woman? Yes, it did. It's just a different head, a different body that's in front of you that's saying, I love you. You make me feel this way and you make me feel that way. So begin to think, are you experiencing a sandbox relationship? Are you experiencing a behavioral playground relationship? Are you experiencing a playground relationship where he or she refuse to get off the seesaw where they're trying to say, I'm in charge, you in charge, I'm in charge, you in charge. There's no balancing where they say, oh, baby, can you listen to me? Can you talk to me? I want to share something with you. So, oh, what's wrong? Oh, I see. It's not about winning. It's not about you got to be right. Sometimes even when you know you're right and you're not getting anywhere with that person, they don't want to listen. It's best to just walk away. There's no such thing as I'm right and you right and we walk away, because it's not. We both are responsible for the things. We both walk away thinking that we are right. And it's not good. So I thought about what she said. She said, because I'm not going to let no man come into my play box, my playground, and enjoy the fruits and the things that are there. You who are single, as I say this, and I close by saying this, you who are single, allow other people to hear what you heard. Pass it along, subscribe. You can go to my YouTube channel, upload it tonight or tomorrow, or you can look it on Facebook and just hit the like column, the share column, and comment section. Because like I said, I did not have a message until yesterday. So I knew this was a message. Because to come off the heel of the ones that I said, sister, you deserve better. You don't deserve that. You don't deserve a man and a boy. You don't. Prior to coming on air, I went out to eat, like I do sometimes, sitting in a restaurant. This young man come past me, black male. His pants were below his waist. You could see his underwears. The pants were so low below his cheek, rear end. And I guess it was normal to him. And one I saw walking with a woman, that was normal to them. That was their playground. That was their environment they were living in. But yet he draw attention to himself. Like, why don't he pull up his pants? Don't he have feelings or consideration how people think? And believe it or not, some of them don't even care. I met women that don't like to see black men with their trousers below their waist. Some people know the history, and some people kind of know the history, and some people don't want to know the history, and some people say that's not them. But someone sent me a video of Facebook and showed me the history. When I used to work in a prison, I should see that pants below the waist thing in prison. But it came from slavery. This is Black History Month. We complain about the white man making us do this and doing that to us. But some brothers are doing the very thing that white men done to our ancestors, or their ancestors back in the day. And this person sent me this Facebook thing to show that, imagine having a cookout and there's a tree stump in the middle of the cookout. You have slaves. You have slaves that give you a hard time, especially the males. So you're going to break them. You bring them over, stand them up in the trunk, rip their clothes off there, and you sodomize them. And you sodomize them. And you send them off, and you made them wear their pants below their waist. So the very next day, they're walking through the compound, and they had a term called bucking. Then everybody knew that that person was bucked by their slave owners. And yet you have black men today representing that behavior because a movie star or singers are doing it, not knowing or don't care about the history, because they say, that's not me. But now say, what if someone get out of prison for 20 years, knowing what that means to them, and they see you dressed like that, they're going to approach you in that manner, thinking that you are ready. We should have more pride. We call it the Black sister. We should have more pride, be proud within ourselves, in our thinking. That individual and many others are on the playground of somebody else. Because if you think about it, many years ago, black men did not wear their pants below their waist. And I say it, and I say it, and I'm going to keep saying it. We're going to see men start wearing dresses. You may laugh. Some people laugh when they thought about men wearing their pants. Now they got underwear that match the shoes, underwear that match the clothing. So black men, you don't hardly see that many white men walking with their pants below their waist. They go out to get a job or apply for a job. They're not dressed appropriately. They don't get the job. They blame the interview because of race or whatever, not thinking their appearance caused them not to get a job. If you have not finished school, go back to school and get a GED. Go back to school and get a GED. Leave the playground of your homies that's not doing nothing for you other than when you're being together and smoking a joint and drinking a 50 or 40 or whatever you do when you're with your friends. Get off of their playground and go to your playground. I have dreams, goals, and success. I can be someone. I've got on my Facebook page, this black female was pregnant in prison. And they used to handcuff women in prison when they have a baby. And she experienced that. And several years later, she got out. She had $25 and a bus ticket. And she was sent to go do whatever with her life. And her grandmother was Vita King. Turned her life around. Now she owns a business. Now she is very successful. So yes, a person can change. Just think about it. If she did not seek out people that can help her to turn her around, to change her mindset of the merry-go-round. Like some people go to jail, get out and go back. It's like on a merry-go-round, a prison jailhouse mentality, playground, going back and forth, back and forth. And then in the playground, they have little cages and stuff where kids can run through like maze and whatever. And you got individuals in prison behind cages like animals. Like we go look for a dog, you see this dog in that cell, this dog in that cell. So I take that one and whatever. We as individuals, black or white, whomever we need to begin to think, we need to recognize that we can change, you can change your life, you can change your lifestyle. If you change the environment, change the surrounding, change, yeah, you're going to lose friends. Yeah, you're going to lose family members. It's best not to share your dream, your goals with family members because they're going to be against you, especially if they see you succeed and they want to pull you back on their playground. They want to pull you back like a tug on a wall. They want to pull you back. So no, it's not for you. I tried that. You know, you thinking you're white or whatever. No, begin to recognize that you can do better by looking at self, recognizing that you are in control of your playground. Yes, we can look at playground as pertain to boy, girl, woman, man, as a form of relationship, but it go beyond that. It go beyond self. How can I benefit my community? What can I do for my community? How can I help someone else? Not what's in it for me, how I can benefit from it. Should I do it? Should I do that? People may not like me. People not care about this and that. I mean, when I was considering police work, the young lady asked me, said, what do you want to be? And I said, I want to be a police officer. She said, what are you doing about it? And I started giving excuses and reason not to do it. And she said, excuse me, are they going to pay your bills? I said, no. She said, then don't give me no excuse. And I thought about what she said. So a lot of times we need to share our goals and dreams with somebody that will give us good advice, that will make it, wow, I never thought of that. Why as I'm lying, someone like the shirt I put on, I'm going to stand up. It say, stop expecting you from other people. Stop expecting you from other people. Don't expect you from other people. Be the person that you need to be to better yourself, to pull yourself off of your playground of disbelief, uncertainty. I can't make it. I don't know what to do. How can I do this? How can I do that? Begin to recognize it. If you want to make a comment before I close, feel free. If you have a question, feel free. We, as black and white and all races, need to recognize, yes, you and I are on the playground of life right now. Are you happy with the playground of your life? Do you see things that ought not to be there? Do you see people that's playing in your playground that's not good, ought not to be there? You done got the playground, the sandbox clean, no litter, no trash, no whatever. And then somebody come and just pick up the dirt and just mess up your playground. Are you in a relationship where you contemplate and sure you let that person move in? Don't let them move in. Because like I said, that is a hobosexual. Look up the term hobosexual. It's a male or female who has no place to go, will tell he or she whatever they need to hear so they can I stay overnight, whatever. And then they move in a little bit of clothes. They move in a little bit of clothes. And sooner or later, they can't get them out the house. That's a person that don't want to be homeless because they have nowhere to go. So begin to think. And I'll leave with this thought. It's my hope that what you heard tonight, begin to examine yourself. Are you experiencing a homosexual relationship? Are you experiencing playing in somebody else's sandbox when you ought not to? Are you on someone else's seesaw? Are you allowing people to push you in the swing, pushing you far away from your truth, causing you not to, don't want you to, push you so far out of the way that you fall off? Are you on the playground of someone going through their own tunnel of thoughts, accepting their thought, accepting their belief, only to come out on the other side, believing what they have said? No, stick to your own thoughts. Stick to your own thought, because a lot of people is not going to encourage you. They're not going to support you. They're going to be against you. They're going to tell you things that you ought not do. It's not going to work because other people have tried it. Even themselves have tried it. And so especially they don't want you to succeed. Because once you succeed, they're going to think, oh, I'm better than you, are better than them. No, it's not about that. We as individuals need to recognize that though we can apply the playground relationships to a physical relationship, even a man and a woman, we can take it beyond that and say, my life, I'm experiencing a playground that I don't want to be on. I'm having relationships. It can be physical, emotional, spiritually, and whatever way you want to define it. Is it good for you? So it's my prayer that you share this with other people. Allow them to hear what you have heard. You can comment on how you felt, what you learned from it. Allow other people to hear. Because I always say, every time I do a video, I say to myself, I wish back in the day that someone would do and say the things that I'm saying, that I would be a better person. I wouldn't have to experience the things that I experienced in life. Now we live in a world where people just doing what I want, and those who say they speak for us don't really speak for us. They only speak for us because of what's in it for them. They don't speak the truth because they don't want to speak the truth, because they don't want to offend people. They don't offend their congregation. They don't offend the people that go to church. They don't offend their friends and family members. So they just stay in that playground of group thinking, group thought, because they want to be alone. And once you decide to come away, step away from that playground that's not good for you, physically, emotionally, spiritual, whatever, then you will be attacked. And when you are attacked, count it as a blessing, because you're doing the right thing. You're not going to be attacked when you're agreeing with them, even when it's wrong. Think about it. When we agree with what is wrong, we're not attacked. Think about politicians. If you want to know who's telling the truth and who's not telling the truth, look at who experienced attack. Do people who believe the same thing, even if it's a lie, are attacked by anything? No. Are they attacked verbally by the news media? Are they attacked verbally? No, they're not. When you speak the truth, no matter what race or sex you are, and you go against what the other side believes, you're going to be attacked in all shape, form, and fashion. That isn't how you know the truth, where you falling. People say, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? If you agree with the lies, you're not going to be attacked. Yeah, welcome to the board. Welcome to the group. Welcome to my ship of thinking. When you say, oh, no, that's not right. Oh, I don't want to have sex out of marriage. Oh, no, I don't want to get pregnant from you. I heard you got this baby and this drama, all this kind of stuff. Don't come to me with all these lies. You reject that stuff. But if you allow yourself to accept it, women and men, you allow yourself into that group thinking of sexual dating, as I mentioned in this book, consequences in sexual dating, hobo relationships. Begin to think. If you remember nothing I said, if you don't care about anything I say, remember one thing. It has nothing to do with your belief or my opinion. That's your way. Who are you to tell me this and that? Think about it. You are in control of this. You're in control of this brain. You're in control. There's a black and white side, good and bad struggling, and there's a side that say, I know it's right. So you're in control of this between your eyes, between your ears. Nobody else is in control of this. You are in control of it. So don't come back and say, somebody made me do it. You choose to do it because you saw the benefits, or you allow yourself to be seduced. So begin to think. The situation, the circumstances that I have revealed unknowingly in this message to you, you allow yourself to play on somebody else's playground. And now it's time to get off of the playground and say, oh, no, 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 no. I don't want to deal with anything in your playground because it's not good for me. It's not going to produce anything for me. And those of you who listen to this message, if you go by a playground and you go park in front of one or take your kid, begin to look at whatever you see in that playground and associate with your life and say, wow, I'm experiencing that in my relationships. I am on this spring thing going back and forth. I am on this merry-go-round of the same old with this he or she. I need to get myself off of this merry-go-round. I need to pull myself out with the truth. I refuse to sit in this sand pile, the sand box of somebody else's thought. The sand, I would say the sand in the sandbox can be every thought that we can think of. We can't count the sand, but those sand particles, grain of sand, can represent a thought. So when I throw the sand up and throw it in someone's eyes, it can be similar to me throwing a bunch of thoughts. I don't want to do this, baby. Well, why not? Come on, you say you love me, but why you want to do it? They're throwing sand and blind. You say, well, I guess I'll try. Oh, I guess it's okay. You allow yourself to be pulled into their own sandbox. And eventually, sooner or later, they're going to move into your home if you're living by yourself. And those of you who are married, if you are in a sandbox relationship, begin to seek help. Not saying get divorced, not saying leave the man. I'm saying seek the appropriate help to rid yourself of the bad playground relationships. If you have to cut people loose, family members, friends, and associates, because you see that they're not good for you, so be it. So I'm closing in my prayer. Thank those of you, Tanisha Williams and Harry Jackson, for joining me. If you enjoy what you heard, hit me up with a comment. Go to my YouTube channel, The Hidden Tears of Black Male. In the right-hand side, you see the subscribe button. Subscribe, comment, share, and like it. And allow other people to hear what you've heard. So they too, don't think for them, but allow them to hear what you've heard. So they too can call into question, hey, I didn't know I was on a playground relationship. Man, please. I refuse to accept this from this day forward. Thank you. God bless. Next Thursday, Lord willing,